There's a bunch of different business models that new Amazon sellers could pursue in today's day and age. So I'm going to go through all of them and help walk you through which one is best for you. My name is Ty from Nepeto. I'm a six-figure Amazon seller, and let's get right into it. All right, guys, so let's get into it. Amazon business models and which one is best for you. We're going to dive into all the different possible business models and routes you could take as an Amazon seller, and which one of those sounds best for you and aligns with what you're looking to do. So let's get into it. First off is online arbitrage. This is what I do. This is what a lot of my peers do, and this is what I vouch for the most. This is when you are buying stuff from a store such as Walmart, and then you're going to go sell it for more on Amazon. Arbitrage is buying for less somewhere else and selling for more somewhere else, like Amazon. So what makes it online arbitrage is you are doing it strictly online. Not strictly, you could still do some stuff in store, some like retail arbitrage and some pickup stuff like that, but it is primarily for the majority going to be online. So the thing about online arbitrage, it is convenient because you are from your computer. So you could do it anywhere that you have an internet connection, and especially if you have a prep center or someone to take care of your prep for you. It doesn't really matter where you are. As long as you have a computer and an internet connection, you can source products, purchase them, have them sent to your prep center or whoever does your prep, and then have them sent to Amazon. So that's the one thing that's nice about online arbitrage. It's very versatile for people that don't want to have to be driving everywhere like retail arbitrage. So that also makes it very low barrier to entry. Another reason it's low barrier to entry is there's no minimum order quantities like some of these other business models will go into. You could just buy a few units at Walmart, and then you send them in and test it out and see if it sells. And if it doesn't sell, you can always go back and return the items to Walmart. So there's not a lot of risk. You just make an Amazon account and try it out. And if it doesn't work out for you, it doesn't. But I know it's a good business model, and you could be successful in it. So if it's not working out, just keep going. But I highly recommend online arbitrage. But let's go into some things that are similar to online arbitrage. Retail arbitrage. So like I mentioned, retail arbitrage is going to be when you are going into stores. For example, in this photo, this is Marshall's. I had a lot of times going into Marshall's, picking up, just going on a little trip, seeing if I could find any little stuff here and there that I could sell on Amazon. It is a fun place to, look for Amazon stuff just because there is so many good deals. So it's less convenient, mainly because you have to drive there, but it's more about, stretching your legs and getting out of the house. For a lot of people, they like to go and look around. It's nice to be outside, not just inside the whole time looking for products, but it's nice to, go to different places. It's pretty fun. So it's less convenient, but it's just a bit different of a journey. There's more niche opportunities. What I mean by that is there's a lot of like coupons and clearance items at certain stores that you won't see online, and that's where that's what makes that a little bit more niche. I know at Costco had a lot of Legos and stuff before, during one of the previous Christmases, or Sam's Club. And Walmart always has pretty good clearance Legos. So that's something that's more niche. You can't really get online the same sales. It's lower barrier to entry, mainly just because you need to have a car or you need some way to get there. But yeah, I would say it's a good opportunity for a lot of people. It's still very low barrier to entry, but you do need a car to get there. You can't just do it all from your house. It's harder to scale just because you're running around all over the place. If you're going to always be driving to a bunch of different places, then it is going to be harder to buy mass quantities of things. It's also very hard to buy a lot of one item at a store because normally they don't have a lot in stock. So wholesale. This is what a lot of people strive to do. People that are doing online arbitrage or haven't started selling on Amazon yet, they see a lot of videos and stuff about wholesale and they want to jump straight into wholesale. So let's talk about why that may not be the best thing. So wholesale is more business focused. You're building relationships with suppliers. You've got to, call suppliers on the phone a lot of times and negotiate rates, and try to get contracts with these companies. It's lower margins but more volume based, so you're making a lot less on each unit. But like you see these LTL pallets, this is very similar to what you'll see in wholesale. They're selling a lot of units, so that makes up for the lower margins. And it's much easier to scale just because you're buying large quantities of stuff. So say you have like a really good product, you could spend 10 grand, 10, 20 grand on that product in a month, and deploy all that capital, which is going to make you profit. But with online arbitrage, you're buying a lot of smaller quantities of a lot of different stuff, so it's hard to scale because you can't deploy as much capital as quickly. I typoed on here on all of these barriers, but higher barrier to entry. So you need to have more capital than like online arbitrage. So the main problem with that is a lot of people starting out, if you may have like a chunk of money saved up or not that much, and you're going to be buying these big purchases of all these units, you may make a bad buy, and then you just spent like all your money on a product that tanked, and then you lose all your money. That's why I always recommend start in online arbitrage, and then look to move into a different business model if you would like, because then you have the experience and you know how to analyze listings and stuff like that. But normally it is more higher barrier to entry, and it's more risky for beginners for the same reason. So private label. This is a much different business model than some of the other business models. This is more similar to, if any of you have ever done, Shopify dropshipping, this isn't dropshipping in itself, but it's a similar path. So you're buying stuff from China, like Alibaba, and you're finding something you think would do well on Amazon, and then you're going to brand it yourself. It's called private label because you're putting your own label on it. So like it may be like, for example, let's just say like some type of self-warming coffee mug, and then you call it like the Warmy or something, and you have it labeled. That's why it's called private label. They'll label the item, and then you'll list it on Amazon, the Warmy, whatever, and then you'll run ads to it. And it's very risky because you need it a lot of times for these suppliers in China. You need a minimum order quantity. And rather than having a minimum, there's also minimum order quantities in wholesale. Rather than having a minimum order quantity in wholesale like that and buying an item that you've analyzed before, you could analyze these items, but because you're making a new listing and running ads to it, the traffic isn't going to be the same right off the bat. So it may be an item you analyze and you think, it'll do well after I'm running ads to it and stuff, but it's not as much of a guarantee as with like online arbitrage or wholesale. So it is riskier for beginners. It's also more upfront work. You need to make the listing yourself, take the photos yourself, buy a SKU, work with the suppliers, get it shipped in, all of that. But for that reason, it is the most profitable most of the time, just because you're buying stuff for so cheap and you're selling for so much more. Of course, you still have ad cost that you have to worry about, but your items you're buying for very, very cheap, so that makes you have the most profit. But it is very, very much more difficult than some of the other business models. So which one is best for you? That's really up to yourself to decide. I would say if you are starting out, you don't have a lot of money and don't have a lot of experience, online or retail arbitrage is best. If you've been doing online arbitrage and you're comfortable with it, you could, jump into wholesale. Private label, if you have some money and you want to, make the jump, and you think you could be successful, I think maybe it's best if you have maybe a drop shipping background or product researching or e-commerce background. That might be good. Or you could go into it fresh and just study up on it, and you may do well. So it's really up to you, but I'm just giving you the information to help you make that decision for yourself. So if you have any questions, leave them down below, and that's it. Have a good one, guys. Bye.